Hey, 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 what's up, guys? What is up, everybody? I see we have a few people in the chat there. RC Scott, what's up? What's up? Hunter Gunman, Gustavo, what's up, everyone? Good evening! We're back on Tuesday streams! That's right, I am feeling a little bit better. For those of you who've been asking or are not in my Telegram, start off with my weekly commercial at this point. I have a bunch of links in the description down below of all of my live streams now. If you want to join my public Telegram channel to chat with me and other subscribers and people who miss me from Twitter, you can join my public Telegram channel, download the Telegram app, get it on your desktop, whatever, and talk with us there in the Mac and Liberty Telegram. So, there's that out of the way. Another thing out of the way some of you guys might be interested in, I am wearing this super cool t-shirt from Hoppian.org. This is the last day to get a physical removal, so to speak, tee on the Hoppian store. If you want one of these, please check out the link in the description down below to the Hoppian merchandise store. This is the last day you can get this t-shirt. It's limited edition. I got mine last week. Here it is. Figured I'd wear it for y'all tonight. It's super cool. It's a great way to support the guys over at that site. And you can use code REMOVAL for a discount at checkout on all your items. They have a sticker and another t-shirt, so if you want to buy a bunch of things and use that discount, it'll work on everything. So, if you guys want this t-shirt that I'm wearing, you think it's cool, it's the last day to get it. I give you permission to leave my stream right now. Go buy this t-shirt if you want it. Come back to me. We'll get rolling in a little bit. I'll give you guys a couple minutes. I just thought I'd shout that out. I've been promoting their shop in my Telegram channel, stuff like that when stuff comes out, but this t-shirt in particular is super cool, and it's very appropriate that I'm wearing the physical removal t-shirt tonight, as you guys will find out. Hello, Max. Hey, For Posterity, what's up? Yeah, I hope that you're doing well with your health. That sounds awful. It is awful, but I haven't been in pain for about a week now. I'm hoping that's a good sign, but who knows? Excuse me, I'm just going to drink some cappuccino real quick. And it's still too hot. Great, so we'll let that cool off a little more. Hope you guys are doing well. If you missed the Saturday stream, I am getting back, fingers crossed, into live streaming. And I haven't decided what day yet. But I have decided I streamed Genshin Impact on my Saturday stream, and you guys really seemed to like it, and I posted a poll on my community tab of my YouTube channel here and asked you guys if you would be interested in me streaming games over on Twitch once a week. It won't take away from my Tuesday and Saturday streams here on the YouTube channel, but a lot of people don't like gaming streams here, and so I thought I'd ask if I move that to a different platform. Would you guys go over there and want to watch something like that? Just hang out and play video games. And you guys voted 70% to 20%, I think it was. 70-30. You guys voted yes. So I'm going to do that. I will post a trailer for my Twitch here on YouTube whenever I create the Twitch. I already have a Twitch account, but I'm gonna make a separate one and actually like put branding on it and make it more official, kind of like my YouTube channel is now. And that's that. So I'll let you guys know. Probably by the end of July, I'll probably start streaming over on Twitch in August. We'll see if I'm gonna start streaming games over there. I'll let you guys know what I'm gonna be streaming. It'll probably be mostly Genshin Impact for now, but you guys really wanted me to play Deus Ex too, so we might play that. But I don't know. I'm also maybe going to see, if there's a way for me to stream to Twitch and YouTube at the same time. But in the past, I've had a lot of issues with streaming to Twitch and YouTube at the same time instead of just on Twitch. So we'll see. I'll keep you guys updated on that. And like I said, the best way to stay updated with information is to join my Telegram channel. So I do tend to post things on the community tab of my YouTube. So if you guys are ever wondering if I'm not streaming on a night I'm supposed to be, or if I'm going to upload a video soon, usually I'll post about it on my community tab of this YouTube channel that you guys are watching right now. So I know Telegram's not for everyone, but it's basically become my pseudo Twitter where I actually get to chat and interact with most of you guys on my channel. So that's pretty cool. I do also, this is the second week in a row I have worn someone else's merchandise. You can get this Lilbert Tears mug as well as a couple cool t-shirts that are more on brand, as they say, even though that cringes me out, for me. And that link is in the description down below too if you guys want to support the channel. Some exciting news that I think I touched on Saturday a little bit. I am actually only 1,000 watch hours away, roughly, from being able to apply for YouTube partnership. Now, I don't want to give Susan any of my money that I don't have to. So as always, you guys can donate to my Ko-Fi link, and I basically treat it like super chats. I always have the email that my donations pop up in with messages go to my email. I always have that up during streams. I would still always prefer, if you guys want to do that, to donate to that so Susan doesn't get any money. But it is very exciting that I am almost there and can almost offer you guys more stuff when it comes to YouTube. So thank you guys all for participating in live streams, for watching my random videos I upload, for going back and watching my old live streams. I see a ton of people are going back and just watching a bunch of my live streams. That's awesome, and it's because of you guys that I am probably by the end of the year finally going to hit partnership for YouTube with only 3,000 subscribers. I say only, but I'm at 3,100 now, and I can't thank you guys enough for supporting me through all my random health issues and my changes in stream schedules. I really, really appreciate it, and I'm going to do everything I can to stick to my schedule, my health allowing, and stream at least twice a week here for you guys, and now hopefully one day a week over on Twitch. The Twitch streams will probably be on the weekend. I'm not sure yet. If you guys have a preference and join my Telegram channel, let me know what you guys would prefer. But we're here tonight on the YouTube, so let's get to it. So I know, unfortunately, like myself, a lot of you were kicked off of Twitter, but luckily I have friends that keep me updated on all the big things that are going on Twitter every once in a while. And one of the big things that is going on right now is, of course, drama with Turning Point USA, because it wouldn't be a TP USA event without a little drama, now would it? So there's a TP USA event. Brandy Love, a porn star, conservative, we'll get to that later, bought a VIP ticket, as far as I know, for the event, was planning on attending the event, and TPUSA revoked her VIP and sent her an email basically saying, sorry, we're refunding you, basically telling her she is not allowed at the event. Now, I know, I want to get something out of the way really quick. I am going to, I think, take a different approach to this than a lot of people from what I have seen are taking to this. I don't consider myself a conservative. I definitely have more socially conservative values. You guys know that if you've been here for a while. If not, hello. Can you tell I have more conservative values? No. But anyway, I'm going to take a little bit of a different approach to this topic than I think I've seen a lot of people. It is really easy, and I kind of clickbaited y'all a little bit here with the Con Inc. is at it again title, but it is very easy to jump on and pile on top of making fun of TPUSA. Now, I am going to do that here, but I want to point out that there's something very important that I see a lot of people, it's a trap people are falling into, and that is people may not necessarily agree with the lifestyle of porn stars, but they hate TPUSA. And so I'm seeing a lot of conservatives that don't like Con Inc., Conservative Inc. as we call them, the TPUSAs of the world. They don't like Con Inc., Conservative Inc., so they're using this opportunity to kind of own TPUSA and say, wow, TPUSA, I can't believe you would not let this woman in. She's a conservative, blah, blah, blah. Even though that may be antithetical to their personal values and they might not agree with what she's doing, which I have seen many conservatives repeating things that I see Lilberts repeat, which is, well, it doesn't affect anyone, so I don't care what you do with your life, even though I don't agree with it. TPUSA should let her into the event because of that. Very strange to see conservatives who have been making fun of libertarians for years and years now using the same logic that cringy libertarians use. Whew, what a world we live in. What a world we live in. It's very, very important when you are criticizing someone to not ally with someone who you also do not agree with and lives a life that perhaps you believe is antithetical to how things should be. Don't ally with someone like that in order to also attack someone else that you don't agree with. You see what I'm saying here? This is Subversion 101. You don't agree with either of these people, but because leftists always are controlling the narrative, you're going to ally with one of two people. That's what people are choosing to do. Conservatives, this is what conservatives are choosing to do. Many conservatives don't agree with the porn thing, and they don't agree with TPUSA, but they're choosing TPUSA just in this instance, and therefore they feel like they have to defend the porn star. Her name's Brandy. I should say the porn star, whatever. Her name is Brandy. They feel like they have to defend her in a milady fashion. People have been sending me screenshots of people's replies to tweets defending and simping. You guys know how I feel about simping. They're defending her against TPUSA. You don't have to ally with someone who you also don't like. It's okay to kind of sit things out, or do what I'm going to be doing on this live stream and take it from a different angle. The angle I'm going to take this live stream from tonight, which is why I brought my Wilbert Tears mug with me tonight, and I'm wearing my physical removal t-shirt. I'm going to take the angle of, I'm seeing all of these conservatives who don't like what's going on, don't think that porn stars can be conservative, saying, she's not a conservative. Okay, whatever. Like, I tend to agree with that. They're saying she's not a conservative because she's a porn star. She's a libertarian. She should go over there. Ugh, guys. I hate it here. This is why the screenshots I've been getting sent revolve around this entire ordeal are why I am so much happier not on Twitter. I cannot emphasize this enough, guys. I am seeing conservatives, instead of just saying they don't agree with it, trying to push it off onto libertarians like, oh, well, she should be a libertarian. Okay. So I understand the reason people are doing this is because, and I still need to make an entire video on this, there is this sentiment that libertarians, the definition of a libertarian, is socially liberal, fiscally conservative. I'm telling you that's bullshit. I'm an anarcho-capitalist. I hate to say socially conservative. I just say normal. I'm socially conservative and I'm fiscally conservative, obviously. We could save a lot of money if we just abolished the government and privatized everything. It's driving me insane to see conservatives who cannot even gatekeep their own thing push it off onto libertarians. Now, I've talked about this many times on this channel in many a live stream. Libertarians have a huge problem with gatekeeping. And I don't mean that gatekeeping is a problem as in they shouldn't gatekeep because it makes you a meanie head. I mean libertarians don't gatekeep anything. And they open their arms up wide and they say, everyone come on in. We need some diversity in libertarianism. We need some women, some minorities. We need everybody in. And we need an equal representation of all these people. Or we must be pick a dash phobia or phobic that people call us constantly. And it's very sad to me. I have a lot of friends who are conservatives who dunk on libertarians, and I dunk on libertarians as well, but as you and I know, lulberts. We have a specific term. If you want the technical term, we could use libertines instead of a meme word like lulbert. As Hapa says, liberal la la las, those types. It's okay for us to dunk on those types. I am seeing conservatives fall into the same trap with this situation that they fall into so often, and that is they are bullied by groups that they don't even matter. They don't matter. You're not going to impress leftists enough by inviting all these porn stars and enough people in of different backgrounds of life. You will never have enough of those people in your ideological sphere to where leftists are going to go, you know what, those conservatives are all right. I mean, I thought they were bigoted, but look at the demographics now. Surely they're not that way now. Libertarians need to learn the same lesson if we're going to apply that to our ideological sphere. Libertarians will never be tolerant enough to not get made fun of. Look at the Libertarian Party tweeting things about anti-racism. I have an entire video on my channel about the anti-famous now in our circles, because no one really knows who Jo Jorgensen is, but in our circles, that tweet caused an uproar. Leftists responded to it and were actually just angry with the LP that they were allegedly going to be taking votes from Joe Biden to defeat the evil Donald Trump. You can never be diverse enough. You can never have enough of the leftist positions. Even leftists themselves, if you go down the plank and you have all 9 planks and you get to the 10th plank and you're like, well, I don't know about that one. That one thing you don't agree with them on is what they will attack you on. It is never enough. Conservatives need to learn this. Libertarians need to learn this. Conservatives, please stop pushing degenerates our way. I don't want them either. And in fact, I believe they should be distanced. We should create a you're not welcome here culture, as Herman Hoppe says, and physically remove them from our circles, so to speak. Ostracism is not bad. And I've talked about this many, many times. Perhaps I will make an entire video on how I was discriminated against as a woman in libertarianism and why it actually helped me improve as a human being. When I got into libertarianism, I am sure I have talked about this before on stream, but for the newbies and the people who are watching this back, I'll go into it here. When I first got into libertarianism, I was definitely one of those people that was I thought I was centrist, probably realistically leaned left, because if you're a person who isn't into politics and only pays attention to culture, you probably lean a little left on issues whether you realize it or not, because culture is dominated by leftists, as we all know. I was definitely a Lilbert type. I was definitely I'm social liberal, fiscally conservative type, because that's what I was told libertarianism was. That was my basic normie understanding of what libertarianism was. I was a minarchist. Then I started calling myself an anarcho-capitalist. If you go to my channel, you'll see this channel has been around for a very long time, and I have been calling myself an anarcho-capitalist for quite some time now. I think I could say that I probably only became what I consider a well-educated anarcho-capitalist, someone who actually at least understood a lot more of what it means to be libertarian. And yes, I'm going to use those terms interchangeably, anarcho-capitalist and libertarianism. I don't really care if it triggers the minarchists. That's a whole other story. For the sake of my beliefs, I'm going to use them interchangeably here. I didn't know what that really meant probably until 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago. And people would make fun of me. I would post, you guys know if you followed me on Twitter. If not, I'll inform you. I would post generic things like taxation is theft. I would post things like just the most basic things you could possibly think of. It was, I don't have a more kosher way to put this. It was a basic bitch libertarianism. The Beltway libertarian takes. Thank God I was never cringy about immigration, but pretty much everything else I was really cringy. I always talked about how I would like to see more women in libertarianism and all that. And I got bullied. And I'm glad that I got bullied. And no, I don't have Stockholm Syndrome. If people had not challenged me on being so close to Beltway, DC, libertarianism, libertines, being okay with all that as long as it doesn't hurt anyone else, I might still be there. But I found an awesome group of people, an awesome group of anarcho-capitalists who were, for all intents and purposes, pretty much paleo-libertarians. And they showed me that, for those of you who don't know, I'm Christian. I always felt weird in libertarian circles. I don't know if any of you have experienced this. Anytime, I'm not one of those people who constantly talks about being Christian. When it's brought up in conversation, I'll of course say it proudly, but I'm not someone who shoves it constantly down people's throats in a very zealous way. But anytime I would talk about Christianity as a libertarian, I would get flocks of people telling me I can't be an anarcho-capitalist and a Christian, I can't be a libertarian and a Christian, I can't force my views on other people and all this stuff. And it never made sense to me. And then I got in with a great crowd of people who showed me that it's okay to be more socially conservative if you're a libertarian. And as someone pointed out in the chat here, libertarianism doesn't equate libertine. Too many want to make libertarianism degenerate. And I agree with that. And it's something many times I have said and in the past tweeted when I had a Twitter, things like, I honestly feel that the reason why most people consider libertarianism to be a phase, and it is a phase for a lot of people and they eventually move on to something else, is it's a way for them to politically justify their personal lifestyle, perhaps things that they do that other people consider immoral. They can justify it and say, well, I'm a libertarian, so I believe, as long as I'm not hurting anyone else, anything I do is okay. And of course, there's a lot of gray area there, and I could go on a whole different spiel about that. But I wanted to bring this up specifically, the gatekeeping, the libertinism instead of libertarianism, because it's something that's so pervasive in libertarianism, and that is why I personally believe Conservative Inc., the TPUSAs of the world, are getting so cringy, is because they're being bullied by leftists, and they are trying to appear, they're like changing with the times. Now, I am not a person who generally believes in tradition just for the sake of tradition, but I do believe that some traditions exist for a reason. Traditions of thought, traditions in churches, things like that. How things traditionally worked, how families traditionally worked, things like that. I don't call myself a traditionalist, but you'll see where I'm going with this. I am not a person who believes in tradition for a tradition's sake, but you cannot be an amoeba. You cannot go through life being a free-flowing blob that anytime anyone is offended by anything you say or does anything and they say that you do something and they don't like it, you adjust your opinion. You are not a person at that point. You are just someone who can be molded and shaped by whatever group they happen to be a part of. For example, as I was talking about, I got bullied a lot by atheist, cringy Reddit tier libertarians when I first started talking about anarcho-capitalism. And instead of saying, oh, well, I'll just stop talking about it, I just started saying, no, that's actually not true. I've met a lot of Christian libertarians. I don't think it's antithetical at all, and I'm not going to shut up about being Christian just because me just saying that offends you. I was never someone who said, because I'm Christian, this is how I think things should be, and blah, blah, blah. I was never that kind of person. I think I'm becoming that kind of person because I feel like I'm being forced into it by people because I don't want to be mistaken for those other people. But you see what I'm saying. There's a difference between criticizing people just to criticize them, to be mean, and gatekeeping. Now, I don't personally really have a problem with teasing. I get teased all the time. For those of you who may or may not know, I am a cosplayer. I wear spandex bodysuits sometimes. I've had my fair share of teasing from both libertarians and conservatives, calling me all manner of names. I don't care. I know what I believe. It's fine. I would never say that people shouldn't do that. If people want to make fun of me for cosplaying, as an example, because they think it's not very traditional, which I've never claimed to be traditional, but apparently wearing spandex bodysuits screams I'm traditional. I don't know. If people want to make fun of me for that, I don't have a problem with that. If people want to come on my YouTube channel and say, I don't like your YouTube channel, I think it's cringy because you're an anarcho-capitalist, that's completely fine. I have friends from the entire spectrum of right-wing thought, and many of them think it's incredibly cringy that I'm an anarcho-capitalist, and I unironically call myself that. That's fine. I don't have a problem necessarily even with being mean, actually in quotes, to people, or ostracizing people. I think there's a difference between that and gatekeeping, though. Gatekeeping is simply an act of saying, this is what we believe. If you're calling yourself this and you don't believe what we believe, we don't want to associate with you. And there is nothing wrong with that. And the fact of the matter is, even if you as a conservative or a libertarian say, I'm above that, I'm not going to gatekeep and create imaginary ideological lines between people because I'm a better person, oh, then you're gonna fucking lose. Pardon my French. You're gonna lose. Because leftists do gatekeep. We're talking about cosplay. I got death threats over the summer before my Twitter got deleted because I simply asked why cosplayers were okay with thousands of people marching through the streets for BLM, but they were too scared to go to crowded conventions with other people. Of course, I got the generic, well, this is for justice, so it's fine. I guess, you know, if as long as something's for justice, then COVID doesn't get you, then fine. Me dressing up as anime characters is for justice. There you go. Now COVID can't get me. You get the point, though. They were gatekeeping me. They saw that I didn't have the same leftist views that they did. I didn't necessarily support the same narrative that they did, and they were trying to gatekeep me and sending death threats. No, I'm certainly not saying we should send anybody death threats. That's generally not a good idea. But gatekeeping is not an inherently bad thing. It's done for a reason. And if you don't gatekeep at this point, you will be gatekept. And that is just how it works. You guys have been asking me for a very long time to make an entire video on gatekeeping. I know I kind of went into it here, but maybe I'll actually do that sometime. It's something that my opinion personally has changed on based on personal experience and actually doing my research and seeing the history of how ideas move through society. I've changed my opinion on it for sure, and I think it's something important that libertarians and conservatives alike need to get on board with, because if they don't, then you're in trouble. We're already in trouble, but if you don't get on board with it, you're even more so in trouble. We'll just put it that way. So, conservatives, please stop sending your degenerates our way. I'm not really interested. Yeah, I'm just not interested in that. I will say I find it hilarious that there's even an argument among conservatives right now on whether or not a porn star is actually a conservative. Something I will touch on, I find it interesting just seeing Brandy, the porn star who was kicked from TPUSA's event, reactions to people. She's been quote tweeting people constantly, trying to defend herself. That's a mistake. You just gotta let things go and stand strong. Don't quote tweet everybody who attacks you. I learned that myself the hard way. It's not a good idea. It's just gonna absorb up all your time. It's something I had to learn, but I learned it when I was in my 20s. I don't know why she's just learning that now. Maybe she just like doesn't understand how Twitter works. I don't know, but it's not a good idea. So if she happens to come across this, stop doing that. You're just making it worse for yourself. Something that was interesting though, her reaction to other conservatives who are Christian, it was really funny. She quote tweeted someone with a Bible verse asserting that she was called to be a porn star by God, which that could be a whole nother live stream, honey. We won't even get into that. So she was okay with using Christianity and Bible verses to defend herself, but when other people used Christianity to say, hey, we think what you're doing is immoral according to our beliefs, and, you know, she quote tweeted, I think it was Matthew Knowles, is that his name? Did a segment, he's a conservative and a Christian. He did a segment basically saying that he thinks she should have been allowed to the event, but he thinks that TPUSA still could have been vocal that they don't agree with her lifestyle. And Brandy on Twitter referred to people like Matthew Knowles, whatever that means. I'm probably getting his name wrong. She referred to people like him as the Taliban with a cross. Now, it's very funny that she was completely fine with using Bible verses, cherry-picked, obviously, to defend herself, but when other people were using that to say, hey, this is why it's not okay, suddenly Christians became the bad guys. And that's not the only tweet she has like that. You guys can go over to her name's Brandy Love. You can go over to Twitter. Fair warning, you're going to see her naked because, well, she's a porn star. But there's just something funny about people who are willing to twist religion to defend themselves, but the moment they come into contact with people using religion to say, this is why we don't agree with you, then it's suddenly not okay. It's just very funny. I feel like anti-Christian sentiments really come out when it comes to things like this, and I think there's a reason for it. And I have a big problem with people who clearly aren't as versed in Christianity trying to use it to get other people to be more tolerant. As Hapa says, the problem is not that we aren't tolerant enough. The problem is that we have too much tolerance in this world. And I think the evidence is all around us. I'm not just talking about Christianity here, I mean just with lifestyles in general. Clearly, something is very, very wrong. Something is very wrong. So, I just thought I would point out that it was very interesting to me that she was completely fine with TPUSA and those people and Christians when they were agreeing with her, but as soon as they didn't suit her purposes, all of a sudden it was Christians are the Taliban with the cross, and I don't agree with those type of Christians, and how dare they not be tolerant. And I'm reminded of there's a meme that is a guy being like, heh, no, I'm not Christian, but Jesus would have done this and this and this, so you should do what I say. Don't let people do that to you. It's ridiculous. I don't let people do that to me. Don't let idiots like that do that to you, because I'm sorry, it is idiotic to try to twist things, and I really have a big problem with people who try to use your religion as a bludgeon against you. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I'm not a fan. If I had that meme, I would put it up on the screen, but I think you guys know what I'm talking about. So, in summary, stop sending your degenerates over to libertarians, conservatives. We have enough degenerates to deal with as it is. Thank you very much. We don't need any more. Thank you. The inn is closed. We don't need any more. We have enough to deal with the Lolberts on our hands. Please don't send us any more. The last thing we need is a conservative porn star deciding that they are now a libertarian porn star. Though I'm sure the Libertarian Party would welcome her with open arms. And my cappuccino is finally cool. There we go. Alright, I'm going to go back and read your guys' chats here. Pick Up Your Pants Patrol said, it's amazing that the left has the gall to act like America really consists of right-wingers, Dems, and far-right extremist Republicans, and when the Overton window has shifted dramatically to the left. Yeah, but that's what they do. That's subversion 101. They make you think, oh, there's all these extremists, and we're the reasonable ones. Don't you see? That's exactly what they do. Destruction 89 said, getting bullied is something you get over in middle school. Yeah, like, you're gonna bully me? Okay, whatever. Like, did we not grow out of bullying, like, making us mad? Like I said, I got bullied when I first became a libertarian, and yeah, it pissed me off, but eventually it made me better. I mean, you know, I'm just saying. It sounds really boomer of me, but you guys understand. Xavier said, libertarianism doesn't equate. Oh, I read that one. Accuracy 158. Haha, I would be lying if I said I didn't imagine Mac's take during all this drama. Yeah, I had a lot of people asking me about this. You guys knew I was going to say something about this. You guys know me too well. Z6 said, Reddit tier libertarianism. Oh yes, we talked extensively about the Reddit tier libertarianism. For Posterity said, when people say we need to see more blank in this subculture, hobby / whatever, that person needs to ask themselves why. Yes, but why? Exactly. Fantastic point. Why do we need that? Because of reasons? Because equality? Why? For Posterity, why would you want to engineer more of a demographic into something? Yes, yeah. Accuracy 158, libertarians can't be conservative is sort of the thought that anarchy means no rules or order. Yeah, and anarchy, there's such a misconception, and even in my Lolbert phase, I was one of those people who believe that. But I think that's actually why I'm an anarcho-capitalist, because anarcho-capitalism doesn't mean there's no order to society at all. There's a lot of reading on this. And boomer conservatives repeat that talking point all the time. Well, you crazy anarcho-capitalist, you just want no order and nothing. And then they're over on Twitter simping for a porn star in the meantime. But that's none of my business. Neil, what's up? What's up? For Posterity, cosplaying is fine. Why is that even a problem? Oh, I was just illustrating that a lot of people will point to my cosplay, which, let's be honest here, I don't do the most risque cosplay. It's not my thing. I don't do, like, bikini cosplays or anything, like a lot of cosplayers do. And a lot of cosplayers do sex work, prostitution. So there is a thought behind it that if you cosplay, you can't be certain things, which to me honestly is understandable. That's why I don't take offense to it, because if you say, yeah, most cosplayers do sexy, very, very revealing stuff, you would be correct. Most of them do. I don't, but I'm not going to argue based on the exception to a rule. That would be stupid. So Destruction 89 said, haters gonna hate, you have no right to someone else's in-group. Agree. Yeah, agreed. H. Reardon said, I recall on Little House on the Prairie, women wearing traditional 19th century spandex outfits. Totally. Yeah, I remember that. I remember those scenes from Little House on the Prairie, too. For Posterity, gatekeeping is essentially not allowing people that are not genuine to infiltrate and remold your culture. Agree. Inquisitor Jack, gatekeeping is completely sane in the face of subversion. Big agree! Jack understands. For Posterity, I know of another girl that does cosplay, and she is pretty far right, like National Socialist, and she's very, very careful in her cosplay community. She says that the people there are pretty commie. Interesting! I have not met many female National Socialists, let alone in the cosplay community. I would be interested to know who that is. H. Reardon, National Socialism is on the left, not the right, because it is a type of socialism which is on the left. Yeah. We can make that point as well. That could be a whole other stream, though. Eric July has a very good video on National Socialism and the right-wing part that people claim about that. Inquisitor Jack said, sadly, cosplay nerd culture is massively infiltrated. Well, of course, because leftists own culture. It's just what happens. But here we are, folks. H. Reardon, I have heard of Christian swingers. I mean, yeah. The other thing that I love is, I absolutely love when you're talking about Christianity and people point to, like, sinful people that are Christians, and they're like, well, those people do bad things and they're Christian, so that means, I'm not saying you're saying this, Reardon, I'm just using what you said as an example. So that means I can do it. It's like, no, like the entire point of Christianity is that we're fallen, sinful human beings and we need Jesus. Like, pointing out a Christian's sins is just like, whoa, no way, that's why we need Jesus. Duh. Like, okay, you really got us there. Just always makes me laugh. Xavier said, yep, agreed. Also, gatekeeping is an essence of property rights. Exclusion is a necessary condition. Absolutely! Nail on the head there, Xavier. Neil said, Taliban plus cross equals based. Oh boy. Adrian said, all Christians cherry-pick the Bible. Yeah. I mean, definitely left and right Christian. There's a lot of cherry-picking for sure. Adrian said, what website is that? I'm sorry, I don't know what you're referring to. It must have been while I was talking. Inquisitor Jack, 120 Days of Sodom is what Lolbertines want as an endgame. Yeah, it sure seems like it, doesn't it? For posterity, Destruction Ignite said, Jesus forgives all. He's pretty tolerant. Oh, now you're sounding like those people. For posterity said, yeah, that's exactly the meme I thought of. Z6 said, exorcising demons wasn't very tolerant. Hashtag demons welcome. Yeah. Destruction Ignite said, Jesus would befriend the sinners and forgive them, but that's my take. Oh, do I need to make a video on why I don't like wimpy Christians? Not that saying that you are, but you're saying a lot of things that I constantly hear from people who are trying to use Christianity to justify socialism and communism, and it's not a good look. Z6 said they'd stop sending them if we stopped taking them. Very good point, and I have stopped embracing those kind of people. So, fantastic point, Z6. If you want people to stop sending libertarians, you're degenerates, stop welcoming them with open arms into your circles. Completely agree. Completely agree there. Great point. Inquisitor Jack, okay. The good Tom King. Hey, Mac. Hey, Tom. What's up? Can I call you Tom? I just refer to people as their screen names. I apologize. Neil and Cappuccino. Oh, that's a good one. Well played. Well played. And Cappuccino. I love it. If I liked coffee more, this is a cappuccino, though. To be fair, it's mostly sugar. It's not coffee. There's like a little bit of caffeine in here. Lunar Nocturne, yo, what's good? What's up? What's up? Inquisitor Jack, Jesus wants people to repent and stop engaging in the behavior more, not to revel in our sin, but to be transformed by the Spirit. Yes, Inquisitor Jack, the second they try to justify using the Bible, the whole Bible is legitimate to bring into the discussion. Neil, the name's order, spontaneous order. That's funny. The good Tom King said, gatekeeping isn't a winning strategy for the right or libertarians. Big disagree, but okay. Okay, you're expanding on this. Destruction 89 said, subversion is impossible if you know the pillars of your ideology. Those who are well educated can invite subverters and future converts. Oh, as future converts. The good Tom King said, the left is in control of nearly all media, social media acceptable. Bowing to their wishes just gives them more of an advantage. I don't understand what that has to do with you saying gatekeeping isn't a good strategy for the right or libertarians. Let me ask you what you mean by gatekeeping, though, because I feel that a lot of people have different definitions of that, so I don't want to argue with you based upon something that I think is what you're saying. Just explain yourself, explain that thought more, and we'll talk about it. M. Gabriel, Jesus whipped the sinners out of the church. Jesus did flip tables in the temple. Very tolerant of him. Maybe he should have welcomed those people into the temple instead of being such a bigot. I don't know. The good Tom King said, not a Christian, but Jesus' strategy is perfect. Humans are not and cannot follow it. Okay. Inquisitor Jack Razorfist made a good summary on his Donkey Kong stream about seeker-focused churches not doing any spiritual training and why they're submitting their supposed faith to their worldly politics. Oh, that sounds really interesting. Death, hello. Hello, Death. I love when Death joins the chat because then I get to say hello, Death, and it's funny. Oh my gosh, speaking of Death, if you guys aren't in my Telegram, you don't know, but I have just watched all of Castlevania in like a day and a half, and I am emotionally distraught. It was amazing. I originally held off from watching Castlevania because people were like, there's gay sex in it. And I was like, no thank you. But honestly, there were 2 sex scenes in the entire, like, blatant sex scenes where you could, like, see things in the entire show, and they were both in the same episode, and it was, like, spliced in between battle scenes. And people had me thinking that, like, the show was just, like, a soap opera where people were, like, having sex all the time, and, like, all the episodes were focused around it. And that's not how it is at all. Like, at all. And it was actually, the battle scenes were great. The animation was lovely. I cried multiple times. I laughed multiple times. It was just a great time. And, yeah. No, I'm watching the Castlevania Netflix animated series. I am aware there are Castlevania games. Inquisitor Jack said it was around the 3 hours and 18-minute mark. Profanity warning. Oh, you don't have to warn me about profanity. That's okay. But thank you. I appreciate that. I'll go back and I'll find this after the stream. I'll have to go watch that. It sounds really interesting. Pick up your pants, Patrol. Wasn't crazy about season 4. Yeah. My favorite season was season 2. It's weird because season 1 was basically just setup, and it only had like a few episodes, and then season 2 was like where everything was happening. It was really cool. My absolute favorite part of the story, if you guys haven't watched Castlevania the Netflix series, I think it came out, the beginning of it started in like 2017. I'm very late to the Castlevania train, so I'm going to talk about spoilers. So if you like haven't seen it and you're going to watch it, maybe like stop watching. That sounds really bad for someone who's live streaming to say, but I'm talking about spoilers is what I'm saying. And it's been out for years now, so I'm not going to feel bad about it. My favorite parts of the series were the Dracula's entire arc, basically, and his relationship with Alucard was just chef's kiss. Like, it was so good. I felt myself, I was getting emotional at like the end when Dracula, what happens to him, and Alucard's response to it. I was crying. It was just, and I don't normally get emotional in series, but like it was just so good, and you're just like, he's an evil, but you're just emotionally invested. He's just such a good villain. Like, he wants to kill all the human race, but here I am crying because of what's happening to him. It's crazy. Very good. Very good. I thoroughly enjoyed myself, and now I'm just, you guys remember the meme of like the really scary looking fox just like sitting on the chair with its hands between its legs? Like, that's me right now. I don't know what to do with myself now. I'm like, I finished it, and like there's an empty hole in me where Castlevania was, and now it's over. Here's the thing though, people were like, well, aren't they going to do more series? I literally would not be mad if they never made another episode. I think it was great, but I know Alucard is Dracula backwards. It's very lame. Anyways, a little tangent about Castlevania there, but what I'm saying is I'm really mad that I waited so long to watch it because everyone had me thinking that there was all this sex and stuff in it. That's why I didn't watch Game of Thrones, because I'm just like not about that life. I don't need to consume that sort of media. Like, and first of all, most of the sex scenes, and honestly, even the sex scenes in Castlevania serve like zero purpose. They could have achieved the same thing in the story without sex scenes. So why? I don't know. Because people wanted to see vampire titty, I guess. I don't know, but it wasn't that bad. Like, I was expecting to watch season 1, get into season 2, and be like, oh, turn this crap off. Like, I don't want to watch this. But that is not what happened. I watched the entire series in like a day and a half. Completely just sat on my couch and binge watched it, which is probably not healthy, but here I am. Thoroughly enjoyed it. For posterity, have you ever played Devil May Cry? No, I have not. The Good Tom King. Considering the fact that the left is in control, playing by the rules isn't a winning strategy. Their strategy is cancel culture, removing the speech and livelihoods of those who disagree. That's not what gatekeeping is, though. It's not playing by the left strategy to gatekeep. That's not what I'm asserting. Like, you kind of sound, I'm not like attacking you, but you kind of sound like people who say that we shouldn't talk about certain things because it's divisive, and being divided is what they want. Being divided is what I want. I want everyone divided into their own communities where they actually get along with people, where they aren't forced to associate with people who hate their fucking guts. That's what I want. Separation, division into communities that people can actually thrive in. All people. Divide amongst yourselves and in cultural contexts that actually make sense. So when people say, oh, well, division is what they want, I was over that mentality after I became not a Wilbert and not somebody who just... I don't think it's playing by the left's game to gatekeep. I don't believe that gatekeeping is cancel culture. Gatekeeping is just saying, you need to do your research and then come back to us or ask us questions, but right now we're not going to let you in because we believe you are believing in things that are antithetical to what our ideology is actually about. That's what gatekeeping is. Gatekeeping is not cancel culture, in my opinion. I also don't believe that calling people on their bullshit is cancel culture. Cancel culture is going after people, doxing them, making them lose their livelihoods. Cancel culture is not calling people on their bullshit, telling them that if they want to call themselves a certain thing, they need to read up on it and actually know what they're talking about. That is not cancel culture. I don't know if that's what you meant, but there's my tangent. Tom King said, no, that's what I want too. Then I'm very confused by your points. Inquisitor Jack said, Hellsing Ultimate is a good anime for people who like violence, vampires, and stupid amounts of gunfire. Here's the thing. I also normally don't, like violence, and Castlevania is super violent and super gory. But I think it's done so, it's just a part of the world, and it is kind of a world-building exercise that it's so gory, so it doesn't really bother me as much. I'm not really sure why. Pick Up Your Pants Patrol said, I think they're going to continue the story, but there will be a big time skip. Uh-oh! Time skips usually mean shitty writing, in my experience. That scares me. M. Gabriel said, I think the director of Castlevania wanted to do a Berserk adaptation, then got outdated as a sex weirdo right after because Berserk fans can't have anything good. Berserk fans are weird. I'm just going to say it. Like, I've read up on the story of Berserk, and, like, that dude has a rape fetish. I'm sorry. I know he's dead. God rest his soul. Like, sorry about it, but, like, the creator just died. But, like, I have no interest in reading, like, a giant, like, really long rape fetish story. I'm sorry. It's like, people are going to get really fucking mad at me. I don't care. I literally don't care. If I want to watch something good that's really long, that doesn't have an ending yet, I'll watch fucking One Piece. Neil said, speaking of which, hey, how's One Piece going? I am still emotionally healing from Ace's death, and Whitebeard's death, and I have not watched any more of it since then. So, yeah. I think I'm going to start back up again this weekend and continue One Piece. Accuracy 158, what to do now? Play Symphony of the Night next on Mac. Why don't you play? Yeah, for real. Well, hey, if you guys weren't here at the beginning of the stream, I'm going to start a Twitch channel and actually start playing video games very badly because apparently you guys really want to see that. So, for posterity, a game you should play is Onimusha Warlords. It was released on Steam. It was originally for PS2. The second one's ultimately better, but the first one's still really good. Huh, interesting. What is it about? For posterity said, yeah, exactly. They want to divide us as not an argument. It's not a bad thing to have natural division and natural organic groups that are cohesive and functional. Yes, exactly. Inquisitor Jack said, I do the same thing unless it's being recommended by someone I trust. I don't know what you're responding to there. For posterity said, unnaturally dividing people is different, but that's not what they mean. Yeah. The good Tom King said, cancel culture is censorship, blocking people on Twitter, removing them from their jobs for their opinions. Yeah, I agree, but I'm not telling people to do that. Also, blocking people on Twitter is cancel culture? What? You have a very low bar for cancel culture if you think blocking people on Twitter is cancel culture. I was getting thousands of death threats from K-pop stans. What, am I not supposed to block them because that's cancel culture? What? No. I don't care if people, you know how many people have me blocked on Twitter? Who cares? It's not cancel culture. Inquisitor Jack. Now, blocking people from Twitter, maybe, like getting them kicked off, sure, but like blocking people, no. Inquisitor Jack. I want people who want to leave me alone and actively hate me to be as far away from me as possible. Yes! Inquisitor Jack. Cancel culture is using institutional power to cause hard to people for their opinions and associations. I think I get what you're saying there. Pick up your pants, patrol. Multiple characters and stories in Castlevania. Yeah, I know, but like time skips scare me. Xavier said time skips can be lazy writing, just like alternative universe. Red flag. Yeah, that really scares me. I'm not saying it couldn't be done correctly, but for posterity, Sword of the Berserk Guts Rage for a Dreamcast is a good game. I didn't even know there was a game. Destruction 89. So is gatekeeping just saying you are technically not a libertarian. No, I think it's more than that. I should probably just make a video on what I think gatekeeping is and why I think it's important. The Good Tom King said, blocking people on Twitter is no different than censorship. What? No. If I personally... No. There are people who I don't like who have me blocked on Twitter. Well, they did. I don't have Twitter anymore. I would never tell them that they're censoring me. If they don't want to see my tweets, they can block me. Like, that's fine. What? What are you smoking, my dude? What? No, like, when people blocked me on Twitter because they didn't like my takes, I never considered that censorship or cancel culture. How is that censorship? What? So if I block someone from my YouTube channel because it's my personal YouTube channel, I'm censoring them? That seems asinine. I'm sorry, bro. I'm just going to be real with you right now. That seems really stupid. I don't think it's malicious to block people on Twitter just because you don't like what they say. I did it. Other people did it to me. That's just how it goes. Neil, K-pop stands. I need context. LOL. For those of you who don't know, like 2 years ago now, I accidentally said that I was arguing with someone on Twitter and they said I have a big forehead, which I do. I have a 5 head. It's fine. That's why I have bangs. Bang gang. And they said I had a big forehead, and they had a picture of an Asian girl as their profile picture who also had a big forehead, and I said, you would know. You're also team 5 head with me. Haha. Little did I know that the Asian person that was their profile picture was a K-pop superstar, and you guys may or may not know K-pop stans get really angry if you accidentally or on purpose insult the people that they stan. And so I got hundreds of thousands of black teenagers that were like saying really horrific things to me by the thousands on Twitter for the period of 24 hours. And then they went to my Instagram and they went to my cosplay page and any public platform I had and were sending me death threats. And one of them started rumor that I had a miscarriage, which is not true. And because one of them said they think that I had a miscarriage at some point, I don't know where they got that from, they started sending me pictures of dead babies. So, yeah, I blocked a lot of people on Twitter. I don't consider that me censoring them. What? For Posterity said, On Your Emotional Warlords, I'm not saying that correctly, is sort of a survival horror game. If it's a horror game, I probably won't want to play it. Because I know I just finished saying that I didn't mind the horror and gore aspects of Castlevania, but I generally don't like horror things. I actually really enjoy reading horror, but I think a horror game I probably wouldn't enjoy. The Good Tom King said, so your definition of censorship is in how much power you have. I mean, no, I just don't consider it censorship to it's not, okay, if someone comes to my house and says something shitty, and I say, get the fuck out of my house, I'm not censoring that person. If someone's on my personal Facebook page or on my YouTube channel and they're annoying or spamming or just being overall shitty and I just decide to ban them, that's not censoring them. What? Death said it was only a matter of time before porn-infected student groups of Daily Caller and the Federalist hires a porn star for relationship advice during Valentine's Day. Yeah, they did. They did. That is true. Was it Daily Caller that interviewed a porn star for Valentine's Day to give dating advice? I remember that. That was insane. This is definitely not the first time a porn star has interacted with Conservative Inc. Inquisitor Jack said, blocking someone from talking to you personally is not the same as silencing them from talking to other people. Yes, thank you. Destruction 89, gatekeeping isn't malicious. It just says you're not invited. Yeah, just saying you can't come to my party isn't, like, malicious. You just... What? Pick up your pants, troll. I quit Twitter last year. I couldn't take it anymore with the pedantic arguments. People going out of their way to split hairs and misunderstanding you no matter how specific you are. Yeah, I dealt with a lot of that for sure. Completely understandable. Neil said libertarians need to emphasize that although there is no right to freedom of speech, that doesn't mean every instance of censorship is now moral or just. Yeah, I agree with that. The good Tom King said, so you agree with Twitter banning all conservatives. Okay, first of all, I don't know if you're aware, but I got banned from Twitter. And I'm not even a conservative. Like, Twitter gave me no reason. They banned me off the platform. No. What? How is saying that I think people... You're just being incredibly disingenuous right now, to be honest. Like, I don't know if you're trolling or what, but I feel like it's incredibly disingenuous to equate me banning someone from my personal Twitter page to Twitter banning all What? No. I don't understand what you're not understanding here. I don't understand what you don't understand. Like, I don't understand, like, what the disconnect is here. No, I don't agree with Twitter banning all conservatives. I got banned from Twitter. Why would I agree with that? I'm not one of those cringy libertarians. It's like, well, they're a private company. I guess I'm going to get banned from Twitter. You're on the wrong channel. The good Tom King said, totally honest, you compared it to someone coming to your house and saying something you don't like. Twitter does the same. Oh, okay, I see why you're getting that. Yeah, but I own my house. Twitter... I guess I need to make my YouTube video about libertarians being cringy about private companies. Corporations heavily subsidized by the state, colluding with government to unilaterally ban people from their platforms is not the same as me telling someone to leave my house. I don't know how much more plainly I can speak on the issue. I don't understand why you think those are the same thing. Unless you're going with the Twitter is a private company argument, in which case that's not going to work with me. I've talked about this a lot of times. They're not the same. They're nowhere near the same. Yeah, it's just a private company that gets, not only gets billions from the government, gets protection from the government, but, you know. Destruction 89, Neocon Asuka is the new Mac on Twitter. What do you think of her? Future collabs / debate. Pretty sure they attacked me on Twitter at one point, so I don't think they're interested in that. Also, I'm not interested in debating neocons. Like, at all. It's a waste of time. Neil, shifting topics. Are you following Mises U at all? I'm not. I really need to. I've watched a little bit of the live streams, but I'm really bad. For those of you who don't know, Mises U is going on right now, and I believe they're live streaming on Odyssey. If any of you guys want to do that, follow that. The good Tom King sounds like a cop-out to me. I mean, that's fine. You can think I'm wrong, but I am under no obligation to continue to argue with you on a point that I've made several times, not only on this live stream, but in many other videos and in many other Twitter threads. So, I mean, you go ahead. You go ahead and tell me that they're the same thing. It literally doesn't affect me. I don't care. I've made my point. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just like, what else do you want from me? You're not going to convince me. Inquisitor Jack, Packingham v. North Dakota's case has implications for social media and public space. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of implications for the whole public square debate and how Twitter is unilaterally controlling elections, not just in the USA, but also in other countries. It's done so for a very long time. But that's a whole nother video. Inquisitor Jack, I read that. Kibbles016, let's go! Hey, what's up? Dad said, I'll post audio of a random encounter I witnessed with K-pop stands. Some black girl was attacked for not giving a damn for an artist singing the N-word to a rap song. Wow. Accuracy 158. I've watched most of the Mises U uploads on YouTube, kind of same as every other year. No, not exactly new stuff. Inquisitor Jack, Twitter and Facebook are the largest sites for cheese pizza, yet don't get punished for keeping it up after its flag. Yeah, well, that's a whole nother story. The Good Tom King, it's not a matter of convincing you, but pointing out your definition of censorship is a matter of scale rather than ideology. Okay, like, I fail to see how that's relevant. Like, when have I claimed censorship was a matter of ideology? I don't even believe in, like, the only free speech you have is on your private property. Like, I don't care. Like, what? Accuracy 158. There's usually a few Mises U lectures each year that are pretty interesting, though, even if you have seen most years. Yeah, they always try to throw in something new. So, and I know a lot of people on my channel probably haven't checked out Mises U, so if you haven't, do this. That's fine. King of Blades, yeah, this dude's definitely a troll. The Good Tom King, it's what you were originally responding to, hun. Okay, first of all, don't hun me. Cringe. Second of all, I have literally no idea what you're talking about at this point. I've made my views extremely clear. It is what it is. It's fine. Also, not trying to convince someone, but pointing something out in their argument that they didn't ask you to point out is very autistic. I think we're just losing each other in translation here, to be honest. It's a little bit hard to do this on a live stream, to be fair. Neil said there's going to be a lecture by David Gordon on Hoppa on Wednesday, so that will be fun. Ooh, that's going to be really good. Yeah, like I said, guys, if you want to see Mises U, they're live streaming it on Odyssey. Nicholas Sinard, you read Tomasi's latest book? I'm about halfway through the Rational Male Religion book. I'm still planning to do a book review on it on my website. I haven't really got a lot of content up on my website, but now that my health is a little bit better, I'm hoping to actually get back into things and actually put up some content on there for you guys. Destruction 89. Hun is a derogatory term for Germans in World War I. Huh, interesting. Didn't know that. So yeah, I've read about half of Tomasi's latest book. I'm gonna loan it to some people. I think it's really good so far. I've read Rollo's other books though, and I find them all really interesting. So, and I don't know if you guys know, I was a religion major in college, anthropology minor. So anything analyzing religion, I'm all for. Talking about it in different ways. And I saw he was coming out with a religion book, and I was like, getting that, thank you. But I do need to finish it, and I do need to actually post my review on it that I said I was going to do months ago. King of Blades, thoughts on red pill content. What do you mean by red pill content? You're going to have to get more specific. Red pill content could be many things. Death said, who do you think Michael Malice will bring as a surprise guest to Tomwood's 2000 episodes? I'm thinking Hans Hermann Hoppe. I don't know. I want to go to the 2000 episode really bad, but I don't think I'm going to be able to, and I'm really salty about it. And if Hoppe's there, I'm going to be even more salty that I'm not there. Neil, Mac and Liberty is red pill content. What do you think about red pill content? Oh, thanks. My channel's great. Like, so, King of Blades, if you want to know my thoughts on red pill content, you're going to have to be more specific. Sorry. I'm just saying that because a lot of people mean different things by red pill content. So I want to make sure I'm not, like, saying I like something that I don't really enjoy. Also, speaking of Hansar and Happa, since it's a little later in the stream now, this shirt, this physical removal shirt, it also has So to Speak on the back of it, is on Hoppian.org's merchandise store only for the rest of today. Today is the last day you will be able to buy this t-shirt. The guys over at the Hoppian are great. You should support them, and their merchandise store link to get this t-shirt is in the description of this live stream down below. You guys should definitely check their store out. They have a sticker, another t-shirt, and this limited edition shirt. And the link's down below. And you can also use code removal for a discount. Today only, guys. So if you're looking at the shirt and you're like, that shirt's cool, I like Hansar and Happa, go check out the merchandise store. For Posterity said, are there any movies you really like that you would suggest, doesn't matter how old? Honestly, this is going to make me sound like a psychopath. I am not a big movie person. I can't tell you the last movie I watched. I really can't. Which is strange because I watch a lot of movie review channels. But here we are. Z6. Do you think broadly right-wing Americans will get serious about localism, secession when demographic trends in America even more a one-party state? Yeah, I think it's already happening. I may make a video on how sentiments about secession and localism are really changing, and I mean that for the better. It's getting more and more popular, and that's great. So yeah, I think people are going to get more serious about it, and I think it's our job to push people in that direction. Accuracy158 said, I said Hoppa mainly as a joke because it's the only thing that makes sense in my mind. I'd be so mad if Hoppa's there because I'm not going to Florida. Yeah, I'd be pissed. King of Blades, I guess I'm referring to dating, for example, channels like Fresh and Fit. I am not familiar with Fresh and Fit's channel. I've watched the channel a few times, but I guess if you didn't follow me on Twitter, I've been on some of the Red Pill guys, some of the manosphere guys. I hate that term. I don't think they much like it either, but that's just what they've been labeled. Rolo's in my live streams every once in a while. I get along with the Red Pill guys fairly well. I actually think what they're doing is really great. I've read a lot of the material. Guys like Rich Cooper, Rolo Tomasi, Ryan Stone, all those guys. A lot of us were mutuals on Twitter. I have no problem with what they're doing. I think it's great. I think people need to be more aware and have realistic expectations of what dating means. And as someone who hasn't dated since I was 18, because I've been with my husband since I was 18, I am not equipped to give people advice on that. So I think it's great that there's male mentors out there trying to help younger guys navigate that sort of thing. So it doesn't trigger me at all. I actually watch a lot of their content and find it very interesting. Destruction 89, if Florida sees they should annex Cuba. Oh lord. H. Ridden, what about the Fountainhead? Have you seen Atlas Shrugged? I don't know if you saw this in the live stream. I don't really like Ayn Rand. I don't really enjoy her writing either. I know that's going to trigger a lot of libertarians, but I've tried to read Atlas Shrugged multiple times, and I own it, and I can't. I don't like her writing at all. Neil said, I only watch movies with my family. Aside from that, I don't watch movies. Yeah, I just don't watch a lot of movies. Not that I never do, but I'm not like a movie fanatic. M. Gabriel, Florida is like the fifth world. Guys are scary. What? Destruction 89, I agree. Movie reviews are more entertaining than actual movies right now. It's more fun to watch them get trashed. Yeah, that's true. For posterity, I really need to find a great girlfriend. 35, I want to get married. Not just anyone, of course, but someone I really, really like. I know that's personal, but it's something that's bothering me. Dude, if it's something that's bothering you, I really encourage you look up some of the guys that I just mentioned. They're going to probably challenge a lot of the assumptions that you hold about relationships and dating, but, like, I, as a woman, I'm not going to give a bunch of dudes advice on how to date women. Don't ask women. I'm not saying you're asking, but just like as a general rule, and this pisses people off when I say it, don't ask women for advice on women. It's not a good idea. And if you're in the stage where you're asking women for advice on women, again, not saying that you are, it's obviously just something you mentioned because it's on topic. If you're in the stage of your life where you're asking women how to get women, you need some serious help. H. Reardon said, I'm in Florida, Tom Woods is in Florida, Philosopher's in Florida. I think Clint from Liberty Lockdown Podcast is in Florida. Is he? I thought Clint lived in Cali. Am I wrong? Inquisitor Jack said, if you're still trying to play the pickup game in 2021, you're insane. Zorberg said, some of the PUA types who flock around roller are grifters. The manosphere has gone from PUA to MRA to MAGTOW to the Black Pill in 15 years I've been in it. It's a sinking ship. Yeah, and I mean, that's why I like Rolo, because I feel like he addresses the Black Pill stuff a lot and tries to not be Black Pilled and just help people. That's just my opinion from what I've seen of his content and read of his books. I definitely think there are a lot of grifters in the manosphere. There's a lot of grifters everywhere on the internet. If there's a way to monetize it and take advantage of people, especially people who are trying to navigate something they don't know anything about and they're scared about, people are going to grift with it. So Z6, I read Anthem when I was in high school or maybe middle school, found it meh. Yeah, I mean, eh. H. Reardon said, that's okay, I don't like reading the Bible and I've read it cover to cover. Cool, very edgy. Z6, any thoughts on Jared Taylor? I'm not familiar enough with Jared Taylor's work to comment on it. But I'm not trying to cop out. I generally don't understand, and I think he's one of those people who's been demonized. And I have a feeling that if I actually started reading and listening to stuff that he said, he's not as crazy as people paint him out to be, or radical as people paint him out to be. Those are my thoughts, I guess. For posterity, no, I wasn't asking advice, just sort of expressing my anxieties. Yeah, that's what I thought. H. Reardon said, there are women who are in the business of giving men advice on dating, like professional help. Yeah, and it's terrifying to me that guys are paying women to tell them how to get women. It's very blue-pilled. H. Reardon, Clint may be in California. I think I might have confused him with another podcaster. Oh, are you thinking of... No, Josh is in Iowa, I think. I don't know who you're thinking of. There's another podcast in Florida, but I can't think of what it is right now. Zorberg 44, Rolo is the swan song of the manosphere, in my opinion. Overall, I think the manosphere has been positive for men. Much easier to find useful information now than in 2005 when I found it. I mean, I kind of hope you're wrong. I don't know. I think it's definitely... I hope that it transforms into something instead of being a swan song. I think a lot of people would like to think that it's just black pill and like hating women, but I think pretending like most of the manosphere just hates women is like super blue pilled. I'm not saying that's what you're saying, but a lot of people, like, I feel like that's why people ask me what I think about red pill men's content. It's because they think I'm like gonna shriek over it, but no, I'm not gonna shriek over it. Did it challenge some of my preconceptions about myself, my own nature, and the nature of relationships? Yes. Is that a good thing? Yes. Should people at least look into it before screeching about it? Yes. Are they right about everything? No. Are they right about a lot of things? Yes. Have they helped a lot of people? Yes. Ola 300, any new cosplays coming along? I have a Noelle from Genshin Impact maid cosplay coming. Daydreams Manifesting, they thought Ross Perot was crazy, and look where we are now. Yeah. For posterity, yeah, exactly. I felt that sort of vibe of demonization of people, and stay away from reading their stuff because they took their demonization in good faith. Jared Taylor's a good guy. Yeah, I mean, I have to admit, like I said, I haven't read a lot of his stuff. I tend to, at this point in my life, anytime someone's being heavily demonized, it's just going to make me want to read their stuff because that's just how things are now. I picked up this book recently. This is Neil, Nicholas and Alexandra by Robert Massey, which is on the downfall of Russian imperial family before its class. Interesting. M. Gabriel, is MAGTOW just a support group for people tired of hookup culture? No, I mean, I feel like MAGTOW is just one of those terms that's just thrown around. Inquisitor Jack, I'm a Magtown monk. I don't hate women, but the U.S. legal and social environment is awful, and I see very few women worth marriage in my area, focused on things I actually have control over. Yeah, and see, like, a lot of guys that are Magtow are like that. They're monk mode, they're focusing on themselves. I literally don't see anything wrong with that. Maybe the reason I don't see anything wrong with that is because I'm already married, and I already found a fantastic man, and we've been together since I was 18, so I'm not like a single woman approaching 30 screeching about how men are being black-pilled and pussies and should just man up and marry me. Maybe that's why I'm not triggered by that. I don't know. It seems like a lot of people who criticize the manosphere are in that category. Just saying. And I mean, even I've been accused of hating women, which... What? You know how they are, though. Zoidberg said, it's a very diverse group, trends a bit older, guys who have already been through the ringer, guys like me who are just tired. Ola 300 said, nice, a pretty cosplay. Yeah, maybe I'll do that this weekend. We'll see. But it is coming. I haven't done new cosplay in quite a while. I'm going to try to force myself to at least start cosplaying once a week, even if it's one of my old cosplays. I know people really miss Megumin Mondays, so that's something I'm going to attempt to do. We'll see. M. Gabriel said, huh, that's interesting. Thanks for the info, fellas. Destruction Ignite said, people in the manosphere rarely have successful, healthy relationships. It's like a support group without good mentors. I don't know. I disagree. Rolo is one of the big 3 R's, and he's married with a kid, so... And he's, like, considered one of the fathers of the manosphere, so... Not sure that's true. Zordberg, what is everyone reading at the moment? Finally starting on The Decline of the West by Spangler. Interesting. I'm still making my way through The Anarchist Handbook by Michael Malice. Inquisitor Jack said, I just got fed up with the constant disrespect on the dating scene and would rather spend my time enjoying my books, friends, and guns. Understandable. Understandable. Daydreams Manifesting said, now they're trying to go door to door with vaccines. Woe to the man who comes to my door with that crap. Yeah, when they posted that, I'm just like, who are they paying to do this? Like, do they have the resources to pay people to go to door? Ola 300 said, I wish all the singles good luck in dating these days. Marriages work 100%, but worth it. And I never got the boomer marriages hard work thing, but, you know, I'm only almost 2 years in, so maybe it gets hard. I don't know. Still waiting. Destruction 89, I haven't explored manosphere type stuff since 2015, so I may be ill-informed. Well, I mean, Rolo's been around for a long time, so... I just think in general there is this negative connotation, and I don't think it's an... I did not mean to make this like a red pill discussion about the manosphere, but you guys asked my opinion. I just think in general there's this narrative that everyone who's in the manosphere and everyone who consumes red pill dating content hates women, all this stuff, and it's just so asinine. If you listen to any of their... I can see how you might think that just purely face value, and I'm not referring this to you, but this is just something I've noticed after interacting with them for a couple of years when I was on Twitter, my last couple of years of Twitter, getting to know some of the guys, just like how they view things and their worldviews. If you think that, I just feel like you haven't watched that much content, which, I mean, I know you just said you haven't paid attention since 2015, but I just feel like that's something that people say that aren't familiar with the content and just want to dismiss it, in my experience. Inquisitor Jack said they're paying the people who needed to be shoved into lockers during school. Oh my gosh. Daniel's manifesting. I've been finishing books left and right lately ever since I stopped playing video games. Yeah, video games are a time suck, that's for sure. Zoidberg said vaccine passports from September expand to other venues as winter goes on, and maybe even workplaces might lose my job. Not taking the kill shot though. Man, good luck to you. It's scary out there. I'm very glad I live in a state that didn't go insane when it comes to lockdowns. Just put it that way. I'm very glad I am blessed to be in the Midwest. We'll put it that way. Daydreams manifesting. Well, when you realize that all the really popular libertarian females often are also single moms, you understand why the hatred of manosphere is constant. Yeah, I mean, I don't know about the single mom thing, but I definitely got a lot of pushback and had people saying that the only reason I was saying anything I was saying about feminism and women was to impress the guys in the manosphere, which is interesting because a lot of the people who criticized me for that also said anti-feminist things, but they somehow weren't trying to impress the guys in the manosphere. Also, a lot of those people who criticized me were single, and I'm married and have been in a relationship since I was 18, but somehow I'm just trying to impress some random guys on the internet who are coaching guys on relationships and how to navigate women. It never made any sense, but that's what people do. They just like project things onto you, I guess. I don't know. I don't have to worry about it anymore because I'm not on Twitter, so it's nice. But God bless all y'all trying to navigate the Twitter sphere still. It's dog-eat-dog world out there. For Posterity said, I wonder if a lot of boomer stuff is also part of the silent generation. People seem to forget that both the silent generation and Generation X as if they don't exist. Yeah, I mean, I'm millennial, so I tend to view things and talk about things from a millennial perspective just because, well, that's what I am. H-Ridden, I live in a state that has been open for a long time, but by the way, I live in Florida. Yeah, I saw you live in Florida. I visited Florida twice this past year. It was glorious. Neil said, Daydream Manifesting, yes, that and YouTube videos and Twitter. My want-to-read list is getting longer than my read list. That's good, though. You guys should be reading a lot. That's good. Oh, wow. Well, it's 8:30. I've been streaming for an hour and a half now, guys. I didn't mean for the stream to go this long. But you guys brought up a lot of interesting topics. Thank you for the discussion tonight. That's great. I didn't really mean to go this long though. So just as a final plug, I guess, you guys, if you want this t-shirt, check the link in the description down below. I know this is my third time saying that on this stream, but I really want you guys to support these guys over at the Hoppian. They also hopefully their website's getting some help, and they're going to start publishing articles again soon. There's a lot of cool articles on hoppian.org, and the merchandise store is linked in the description down below where you can get this t-shirt to support them. Thanks for watching, guys. It's been a really good discussion. Nice to see some familiar faces in the group chat there, and this is a Triple H saying, physical removal. This is a Hoppa shirt. Hans Hermann Hoppe. Yes, Triple H. Everybody have a good night. I'll see you guys Saturday afternoon at 2 p.m. Central Time. And, again, I'm going to try to stream more regularly from now on. We'll see. Thank you guys so much for all the health wishes. If you want to keep up with me, best way to do that, again, is to join my Telegram in the public description of this live stream down below if you're watching this back. Thank you so much for watching this back. Thank you for joining me live. And, as always, everybody stay comfy and hold down the fort over there on Twitter for me if you're there and elsewhere. Just have a good rest of the week, guys. And I'll see you this weekend. And then we'll have a comfy weekend stream. So, you guys keep up the good fight over there for me, okay? See ya.